Hey there, guys. Welcome back to JTech. I know these videos are going to be a little jumpy because they were all recorded a little differently. Sometimes I can do something with one and not the other, but I'm basically just going to do the quick explanation video on the whole rebuild of this desk. I knew I wanted to do it right from the get-go. There was a few things I didn't like, so just to get a quick explanation of it, I'll give you an idea. Okay, so this was the original layout of the desk. Now, I had the rods at the top, and the PSU you could see, and all that stuff, and it was okay. And the res here was the res pump combo. I had to run it on an angle, kind of lean it on the side, and I didn't really like the way it was. It took a lot of effort, and I thought it was cool how this was laid out, but it ended up not being very efficient and not a very clean look. I didn't really like it at all. So that's why I decided I was going to rebuild this desk. I was going to move the 1050 Ti that was in it to my media computer and replace the GTX 650 that was in there, which was crap. So that's why I was replacing it. And then I was looking for a cheap alternative that would do what I wanted it to do, but be able to maybe, I guess, edit and render a little bit better. So I have more of an editing computer. So that's why I went looking for GPUs. It's something I could get cheap that I could also water cool because I knew I wanted to water cool the entire loop. And there was no real point in water cooling a 1050 Ti. They just don't get hot enough. And for the amount of money for the blocks that are available, they're expensive. They're not cheap. So that's why I decided to go this way. I picked up a 780 Ti for legit next to nothing compared to the 1050 Ti's on the market here in Canada. I got the 1050 or the 780 Ti plus the water block, which I shipped in from Frozen CPU. Great guys, by the way. Makes buying stuff from them so simple. But I legit got both that and like the GPU and the water block for still like almost close to $100 less than just a basic 1050 Ti 4 gig here in Canada would cost. Anyway, the point was I wanted to water cool the whole loop. I am going to be doing a Ryzen upgrade. I don't know when. I'm hoping within the year, within 2019, I can do my Ryzen upgrade and continue doing it, which will be a complete rebuild from top to bottom. I will probably be switching all to hardline in the long run, but I wanted to make this update so I could also update my media computer. So the idea came out that I wanted to do a layout like this. Move the rods to the side, keep everything else basically the same, but this way it would give me enough room to also run an ATX board if I didn't want to stay running the micro ATX that I'm running now. The problem at hand with that is once I started actually doing it, on paper and everything, number-wise, it was great and dandy, but once I started actually doing it, I started to realize because micro ATX board is only 9.6 inches in height, and an ATX board is 12.6 or 12.9, that extra like 3 inches cut the top of my desk down, like the amount of room that I'd have at the top, by a lot. Which, with the rubber hosing that I was doing and the block that's on my CPU, because the holes on the CPU are vertical, they're one above the other, the tubing would have been really difficult to do the bends that I wanted to do without kinking the soft tube. If it was a hard tube system, all right, you could have made it work easily, not a problem. But I wasn't going to go hard tube. So I decided, for my uses and everything I need it to do, the type of gaming I do and everything else, I know I will never have to run anything in SLI. Unless I was doing some benchmarking stuff, and at that point, I would do it on a bench. I have an old P3 case, so I could turn that into my testing bench if I really want to. But for me and the computer I need, a micro ATX board will do everything I ever needed to do. So even when I upgrade to Ryzen, I'm looking at the B450 tough boards and stuff like that. So I'm really not worried about it. So I changed it. I decided I'm not going to go ATX. I'm just going to go micro ATX, and then just kind of ran with it. Everything worked out well, as you'll see as you watch through this series. I will do an outro video probably at the end of the last one, just to inform you temps and all that kind of stuff because I did go through all of it. The GPU has been overclocked. The CPU has been overclocked. Everything is 100% stable, like 100%. No artifacting at all during any testing of any sort. It's not bottlenecking anymore. It was because this motherboard only has a 4-pin. It has really, really bad power management. So I kind of had to tweak things to make sure that it wasn't going to have that problem anymore. Because it was actually just nailing the GPU and bottlenecking the hell out of it. So I had to switch that. But anyway, we're going to start off the series with the kind of like wood stuff. Getting the desk prepped, drawing out the lines, marking where I'm going to have to cut, blah, 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 the painting. And then the second part will be the actual building. Some parts did get skipped. Some parts have been corrupted. The files were corrupted, so I can't put everything in. So it's not as in-depth as I wanted it to be. But at the same time, we also don't need 30-minute long videos. So let's see how it goes. Maybe we'll cut it up into a couple, but yeah. And then I think I'll probably record one video at the end, which will just be a bunch of glamour shots for the entire computer. So here it is. Enjoy and look forward to the next one. I think I'm going to build a custom one-off case. Just one-off. Not a desk, but a case. We'll see. Have a good one. Enjoy. Hey guys, welcome back to JTech. Well, today's the day we're going to start stripping the desk down so I can get ready to redo it. Sorry about the light. I know the light's not 100% great. Can't really do much about that right now. But yeah, so let's strip the loop, drain the loop, strip the whole desk, and start getting ready to pull it apart so we can start rebuilding it and putting it back together. Okay, so that's going to be the end of part one. I don't want to make the videos too long. We will get into a part two. I know I'm trying to kind of speed through some parts. I'm trying not to go too fast so you can still watch and kind of get the idea of what's going on, but it is just dismantled, so I figured it didn't have to be too much. So in the next one, it'll be the beginning of part two is where it'll start off, finishing the rest of this stripping.